A to Z Facts presents 7 mind boggling coincidences ever happened in history. Facing plots. On August 21, 1941, Private John Parr, just 17 years old, was the first British soldier who died during First World War. Hereafter, millions of soldiers died, and the last killed soldier was Private George Edwin Ellison, 30 years old, on November 11, 1918. In an unplanned coincidence, their graves faced each other just 15 feet apart at St. Symphorien Cemetery near Mons. Late revenge. In 1883, Henry Ziegland broke up with his girlfriend, after which she was so devastated that she committed suicide. Her brother was said to take a revenge on him and tried to shoot a bullet on him. Unfortunately, that day he was lucky and the bullet went inside a tree. Her brother committed suicide with fear and anger. Years later, Henry wanted to take out the bullet from the tree. He used dynamite sticks to blow it up instead of cutting it off. And that's where his luck ran out. The explosion propelled the bullet into his head and killed him immediately. Twin brother's death. In 1975, while riding a moped in Bermuda, a man mistakenly hit by a car and killed on the spot. Just 1 year later, his brother repaired the moped and went out for a ride. Unfortunately, he was also killed on the same road at the same spot. Mystery did not end here. Both the brothers were killed by the same taxi with the same taxi driver carrying the same passenger. The futility of Titanic. In the year 1898, the writer Morgan Robertson wrote a book named Futility, in which a big ship called the Titan sank. Mysteriously, the connection between the real ship and the story are mind-boggling. In both the story as well as real, the ship was almost 800 feet long and hit by an iceberg and sank. In the book, Titan sinks in April midnight 400 miles away from Newfoundland. And in the real, Titanic sank on April 14, 1912 midnight 400 miles away from Newfoundland. In Titan, there were 3,000 passengers and had not enough life jackets. And in real Titanic, there were 2,207 passengers, and guess what? They too had not enough life jackets. Hugh Williams. There are many ocean voyage casualties throughout the history, and many people had lost their lives. But if your name is Hugh Williams, then you need not be worried about. In back 1660, a ship sank in Dover Straits and all the passengers died except one person named Hugh Williams. In 1767, another ship sank in the same area and killed all the passengers. Well, except another man named Hugh Williams. In 1820, a ship was hijacked in Thames. Only one survivor left, also named Hugh Williams. In 1940, a ship was destroyed by Germans. All passengers were killed except two survivors, one named Hugh Williams and his nephew Hugh Williams. James Dean's bad luck car. James Dean was a heartthrob Hollywood star. In 1955, he died in a strange car accident when he was driving a Porsche. Years later, the car was given to a garage. The mechanic who was working on it lost both of his legs when the engine slipped down onto his legs. A doctor assembles the car's engine on his racing car and died during the car racing. Years later, another man brought the car's driving shaft and was also dead in the same car race. The car was then almost destroyed by fire and sent to a Sacramento to show off. Unfortunately, it fell off from the mount and broke a teenager's hip bone. Finally, in 1959, the car unexpectedly broke into 11 pieces and now no longer exists. Lincoln-Kennedy mystery. Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John F. Kennedy was elected to Congress in 1946. Abraham Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John F. Kennedy was elected president in 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy each contains 7 letters. Both were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of their wives lost their children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday. Both were shot in the head. Lincoln's secretary, named Kennedy, warned him not to go to the theater. Kennedy's secretary, named Lincoln, warned him not to go to the Dallas. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born on 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. Both of their names contain 13 letters. Lincoln had Marfan syndrome. Kennedy had Addison's disease. Both are genetic disease. Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth, born in 1839 at Ford's Theater. Kennedy was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, born in 1939 in a Lincoln automobile made by Ford. Both of the shooters' names are 15-lettered. Guys, these are the coincidences from history which I found interesting. If any strange coincidences happened in your life, please write in the comment section. I would like to know your opinion.